Hello everyone, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently today. Of course, you all are used to the computerized voice, but I thought it would be better to get my argument out and to show that yes, I am a real person and not a POC, POS, or whatever they try to call people these days. I don't even know what that crap means. But basically, there was a video made by Planarwalk, and it was called Nathan Oakley Has the Saddest Flat Earth Channel on YouTube, featuring at FTFE Official, another Globetard. And basically, they just shun flat earth believers, just like SciManDan. Basically, like, you can't really find too much from SciManDan about the globe earth. His videos are basically contributed to shaming flat earthers instead of trying to prove a point, in which I will do today. Now, I took it upon myself to comment down in the comment section of this video, and I pretty much told them, you guys can't try to debunk and talk about people when you can't even prove things yourself, such as if you all can't explain how the sun can reflect light on the side of the moon that faces away from it at all times. Sit this one out. Or did you all forget that the moon revolves around the earth and not the sun? You guys are the jokes. And so someone replied by the name of John Q. Public, and he says, how the sun can reflect light on the side of the moon that faces away from it, it doesn't. Your ignorance is not an argument. Make sure you guys keep that in mind. Now, we also had TG Studio 85 at the Queens. Is an easy explanation. Even my 7-year-old understood it. That side is lit by light reflected off Earth. That phenomenon is called earth shine. So if that phenomenon is called earth shine, that means that when you go outside at nighttime and you look in the sky, you're looking at earth shine. Because that side of the moon that faces away from the earth at all times is the side of the moon that we're seeing. The side that faces earth is that side. The side that we see at night cannot face the earth and the sun at the same time. So you have to pick a side. Therefore, what you are saying is that the side that we see in our nighttime skies is a phenomenon called earthshine. So why have all of you globetards and professors and all of the rest of you guys that believe in the globe earth have been saying this whole time that the moonlight is the sunlight reflecting off of it? Now all of a sudden it's earthshine. Fail. So I responded, so you're saying that we are looking at earthshine and not the moon reflecting the light of the sun. Y'all don't even believe your own BS. Be quiet. I also responded to the other guy. I don't know how to say it, unduloid. If there's a side that always faces the earth, there's a side that always faces the sun. Idiot. As I just stated, you cannot have the side that we see of our moon. It cannot face the earth and the sun at the same time. Pick a side. Fail. So Undeloyd says at the Queens, the fact that we see the same side of the moon pointed toward the earth means that the moon rotates. This means that all of the moon's surface will get illuminated by the sun at one point. Now, a moment ago, the other person was saying something about earthshine. Now we got Undeloyd saying that this means that all of the moon surface will get illuminated by the sun at one point. So now they've moved on from it's earthshine to now it's illumination. Fail. That's 2 points for the flat earth because the first person again said illumination. Well, this person is saying illumination, and then TG stated that it was earthshine. So neither one of these people have said that the moon is reflecting the light of the sun. But hasn't that always been globe earth's beliefs? Fail. And when we're talking about the moon, we're not talking about the side that's facing the sun. We're talking about the side that we see, as they are full aware of in the comment section. Deloy at the Queens. The moon is a sphere. This means that half of it will be illuminated at any one time. Since the moon rotates, this means that after one full rotation, it will have been completely illuminated by the sun. Agreed? Again, they're saying illumination. They're not saying that the moon is reflecting the sun's light. They're saying illumination because they know that the side of the moon that we see is in fact not reflecting the sun's light. So no, I do not agree. Fail. Now we welcome someone by the name Angel, and they say, easy, there is no side of the moon that faces away from the sun at all times. even though TG Studio 85 already acknowledged that side. Emphasis on the that. Angel goes on to say, your question is based on a false premise. You already said it yourself. The moon is tidally locked to the earth, not to the sun. The dark side of the moon is named like that because we can't see it from earth, not because it's in perpetual darkness. Yes, I know. 3 combined motions are hard for flirts to understand or visualize, but your lack of insight is a problem with you, not with reality. Angel, I never even stated what they coined or named the dark side of the moon was in perpetual darkness. In fact, I stated that it was the side that is in sunlight the most. And the side that we see is actually the side that should be in darkness. Exhibit A, and a day prior to Angel's comment, so clearly she wasn't reading and following, because at Undeloyed, I stated, I never said that the side facing away from the earth never gets any sunlight. I said it's the side that should be getting the sunlight and not the side that we actually see. Reading and comprehension is fundamental, Angel. Fail. So now we have PCIS trying to come to Angel's rescue and stating at Angel they completely ignored the fact that the solar system also isn't a horizontal plane. It's also 3D, LOL. I think, and that was actually funny to me as well because 3D and globetars just go hand in hand. But if they had read my comment, it's possible, but unlikely that they'd understand light doesn't have to go through solid rock, just past solid rock, which is possible. So he's saying that it passes it. So we're only seeing the light passing the rock when we look up at the moon at nighttime. So now it's not earth shine and it's not illumination. It's just light passing the moon. Another person, I don't think you realize that tidal locking only involves the moon and the earth. The sun has nothing to do with it. The first comment I made was not about tidal locking. That was only mentioned due to get people to understand that the side of the earth that's facing us is not the same side that's facing the sun. Fail. What PCIS is failing to realize is that it doesn't matter by you saying now all of a sudden that the solar system also isn't horizontal, even though every diagram of the solar system shows the planets as being horizontally aligned. The light still comes in horizontally, allegedly. So therefore, your statement is irrelevant. We're talking about the light. So you saying, oh, the solar system isn't horizontal. The light should be. As based on the globe earth model. Fail. So here we have Simon T. and Kevin Smith. Actually, it will take 28 days for the entire moon to get illuminated. In 24 hours, the earth has spun 360 degrees and has been entirely illuminated. But the moon has swung through about 13 degrees in its orbit, and so only a small amount extra has started to see sunlight. Now, I thought that this comment was very funny from Simon T. because he stated that in 24 hours, the earth has spun 360 degrees. I had to stop at the spun part because we all know that the earth is stationary. Fail. Not to mention that Simon T. has also accepted illumination. Still, we are looking for when has the moon reflected the light of the sun. I haven't heard that yet. Fail. I don't know about anybody else, but all I have been seeing so far is a bunch of scaredy cats that I have clearly debunked the reflection theory because they know that the moon cannot possibly be reflecting the light of the sun based on the facing of the moon towards the earth when using the globe earth model. Then Mandelbrot says, you are the only person who is claiming that more than one side of the moon is in sunlight at the same time, Mr. Dishonest. I already showed proof that I never stated that both sides of the moon can be in sunlight at one time. They also stated at the Queens, are you claiming that there is a side of the moon that never sees the sun? Or are you going to evade that question too? Why do you evade all questions? Is it dishonesty or cowardice? Of course I am claiming that there is a side of the moon that never sees the sun. And you all have agreed with me as well. Every time that you mention illumination, earth shine, and things of that nature. Fail. Now here comes Pilo 1408 at the Queens. I see your problem. The moon and the earth and the sun do not lie on a single horizontal plane. The moon's orbit is tilted relative to the earth's orbit, while the earth itself is tilted at a different angle relative to its own orbit. So no, it isn't all a single horizontal plane. Again, as I stated earlier, that is irrelevant because the light still comes in at a horizontal angle based on the globe Earth model. Fail. John Well-Beloved says the moon's orbit is inclined by 5.14 degrees with respect to the ecliptic plane, the plane in which the Earth orbits the sun. This means that at various times the moon will be above the ecliptic, below the ecliptic. Pilo 1408 and John Well-Beloved stating about tilts and inclines is irrelevant because, as I stated in one of my previous videos, a spear is equidistant from its center. So I don't care if you lean a spear or a basketball to the left or the right, it's still a ball. And half of it still, the light should shine upon it horizontally at the end of the day. So it's ecliptical planes and its inclines and all of that is irrelevant to the point that based on the solar system diagram and the globe Earth model, light should come in at a horizontal angle. But I have personally seen only the bottom half of the moon lit at a point of time, and that is impossible based on the globe Earth model if the light is only supposed to come in horizontally. Just the bottom portion of the moon should not be lit. But if you watch the sky enough, you will see that happens. So here in this diagram, we have the phases of the moon. Of course, we have the third quarter, the waning gibbous, full moon, waxing gibbous, first quarter, waxing crescent, new moon, and waning crescent. But the phase I want to focus on is the full moon. Now, Yoon Deloy stated at the Queen's, I just explained to you that the side we can't see will point away from the sun during a full moon. But Pilo 1408 stated that's a lie. The side we see does face the sun during the full moon. So you see how they can't even come to a common agreement? These globetards fail. Now, Kevin Smith stated at the Queen's, the phases of the moon change based on what part of the moon is facing the sun. The sun is not inside the moon's orbit. In about 28 days, the sun will have shown a complete 360 degrees of the moon, just as it does on Earth in 24 hours. We call that night and day. So if you call that night and day, shouldn't there be a nighttime side of the moon and a daytime side as well? Or should I say a light side and a dark side? Fail. So now we move over to space.com, and of course they're just having on here when the next full moon will be. And the next full moon will be on Friday, January 6th at 6:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, space.com says most of the time the full moon isn't perfectly full. We always see the same side of the moon, but part of it is in shadow due to the moon's rotation. Only when the moon, earth, and the sun are perfectly aligned is the moon 100% full, and that alignment produces a lunar eclipse. And sometimes once in a blue moon, the moon is full twice in a month or 4 times in a season, depending on which definition you prefer. So that means when speaking about a full moon, a 100% full moon, meaning a real full moon. You can't call something a full moon if it's really not. And a lot of times things with globe earthers, they love to use the word appear. We're going to stick with the definite. So when you're talking about a definite full moon, meaning a 100% full moon, that is what you will call a lunar eclipse. Now, they say that a lunar eclipse occurs when the moon moves into the Earth's shadow. This can occur only when the sun, earth, and moon are very closely aligned with Earth between the other two, which can happen only on the night of a full moon when the moon is near either lunar node. So now I'm going to show you all the position of the Earth, the moon, and the sun during a full moon. And this is the lineup of the bodies based on the globe Earth model. So now they're saying that it is the Earth's shadow now that's causing the full moon and the lunar eclipse. They've moved on from illumination to Earth shine to shadow. Someone please tell me, when have you ever seen a light shadow? You haven't. So how is the moon reflecting the Earth's shadow of darkness and come out looking like this. During a lunar eclipse, i.e. a full moon, because a lunar eclipse only occurs during a full moon, you can clearly see in this diagram that the sun is not on the same side of the moon. Yet it is shining with such brilliance. So you mean to tell me that the further away the moon is, on the complete opposite side of the Earth, based on the globe Earth model, that makes it shine brighter, and the closer it is to the sun, completely blocks out all illumination, such as a solar eclipse? They say that a solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between Earth and the sun, thereby obscuring the view of the sun from a small part of the Earth, totally or partially. Now, in this diagram of a lunar eclipse, isn't the moon being obscured as well? So I have laid out pretty evidently why the reflection theory is incorrect, even though, as you can see in the video, all of the globe earthers are trying to shun away from the fact that they have always been stating that the sun is reflecting off of the surface of the moon, in which you see here by NASA stating, unlike our sun, the moon doesn't create its own light. We can only see it because the light from the sun is reflecting off of its surface. But there in the comments, we had everyone saying illumination, earth shine, shadow. Now, NASA goes on to say the moon actually shines bright enough that you can see it day or night, as long as it's in the right part of the sky. And during a full moon, the moon is opposite the sun in the sky. That's why we can see the full face of the moon reflecting sunlight. Again, I have already went over in this video showing as to why that is incorrect, because they forgot to even mention that the earth would be between the sun and the moon. Therefore, it would not be reflecting the sunlight. They did a horrible job at trying to explain away their failed theory of reflection as based on the globe Earth model. So when I said to Mandelbrot said, you talk about eclipses, but you forget that the moon is allegedly closer than the sun. Meaning, when you see an eclipse from the side of the moon facing the earth, you will have to be seeing the dark side of the moon with the sun peeping out from behind it. So what happened to the reflection? What happened to earth shine? They responded, Mandelbrot said at the Queens, that made no sense. What do you think that the dark side of the moon means? Are you too scared to answer that question too? Going back to a solar eclipse, what I mean by peeking out behind it. Now, as you can see, I would like to call this the ring of fire. Of course, you got the black sun in the middle, and you got the sun ring of fire going around it. So as the moon travels from west to east, what is going to stop you from seeing the darkness of the side of the moon that's facing the earth? That is what I mean by the dark side of the moon.